I'm getting this one, another one.
On me.
No.
Yeah.
No. I'm going to take this one.
You want to bet your purse?
I'm not betting person. I'm not betting.
That's coming home with me, though.
No, that's not.
That's me.
We'll see soon.
We're going to see. Yeah.
We'll see.
Same weaknesses, huh?
We all have flaws. We're all not perfect. And you know that.
Yeah.
We all make mistakes.
Yeah. Just don't make none on fight night.
Yeah.
Yep.
You too.
Wait, I know I keep saying I can't wait, but I'm really excited. Like, I can't wait. I'm gonna show out for sure.
Jaron Boots Ennis got a fight coming up April 12th against Stanionis. It's been relatively quiet when it comes to Jaron Boots Ennis. Did his shine that he once had prior to facing Karen Kukuchan for the second time, did his shine diminish? It's your boy, Mr. 926, a.k.a. Bushido the Dragon, a.k.a. the Black Mage, a.k.a. I can just do this all day, the two-time demontage champion of the world.
I need y'all to get the likes up, man. Get the likes up.
Check it out, man. It's been really, really, really slow in the sport of boxing. Ain't too much really going on. This tends to happen, right? This tends to happen in boxing, but I'm not quite sure if it ever happened around this particular time of the year, right? But whatever the case, things are still materializing, shaping up in the sport. And Jaron Boots Ennis got a fight coming up with Stanionis. Honestly, it's a fight that I felt that should have happened years ago, right? These guys been in the same weight class for a long time. They should have been fought each other, but it's better late than never. Going down April 12th, Jaron Boots Ennis will be defending his IBF title in a unification fight against the WBA champion, Stanionis. But our friends over here at Boxing News 24 always got something to say. Now, I'm telling you guys, they don't got nothing nice to say about no fighters, right? It's not just Crawford or Spence or Canelo or any. They don't got nothing nice to say about no fighter. And it's actually hilarious at times. But Jaron Boots Ennis, man, my thoughts on Boots, he got to show us something in the Stanionis fight. Because right now, what really hurt Boots Ennis is not just the Kukuchan fight. It's not that, right? Me personally, I don't, you go have a tough fight. It's just whatever, right? But what really hurt Jaron Boots Ennis is the whole Virgil Ortiz situation. And the mystique that Boots once had, that aura has since been shattered in the combination with the fight with Kukuchan and him getting bamboozled by Virgil Ortiz, essentially ducking Virgil Ortiz, okay? That's the narrative that he didn't want to smoke with Virgil Ortiz. My friends at Boxing News 24 always got some things to say, and it's never necessarily anything nice about these fighters, but it says this, quote, IBF 147-pound champ Jaron Boots Ennis says that fans have been jumping overboard, abandoning ship after his recent performance against Karen Kukuchan. We'll be back to loving him after he defeats WBA welterweight champion Stanionis in their unification fight on April 12th at the Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Now, he said fans will be back on board after his next performance against Karen Kukuchan. Jaron Boots Ennis, one thing that a lot of fighters like Jaron is going to have to do, they're going to have to look good in almost every fight. Especially if you was a guy that was coming up throughout the ranks, perceived to be a boogeyman. You was looking really good against the guys you've been fighting. You've been crushing everybody you've been fighting. The standard is just going to be high. You can't get hit with a jab. You can't slip on a banana. You can't make no mistakes. And that's unfortunate, but that's just the reality of the situation. Then it says Jaron Boots Ennis hasn't looked impressive in his last 4 fights since stepping up against higher level opposition in 2023. The praise that Boots once lapping up has disappeared entirely. And there are whispers that his former success was a product of him feasting on C-level 140-pounders. So this is the narrative for Boots, that he's been feasting on 140-pounders. Honestly, this is something that I said for a while. A lot of those dudes that he was crushing was former 140-pounders. You know what I'm saying? So, and he was looking really good in these fights, but it's not something that I stand on a soapbox screaming, telling everybody, hey, look, man, he ain't really do. But I acknowledged it. I mean, a lot of those dudes were smaller guys, and he was looking really good in these fights. Then it says, besides his fighting better opposition and struggling against them, his next fight against Stanionis, who is 15-0 and 9 KOs, will tell us a lot about whether he could turn things around and start looking impressive again. And Boots Ennis is going to have to look impressive in this fight. He's going to have to look impressive in this fight, like I told you guys. It's just one of those things, man. Certain dudes, he's going to have to look good against this guy. And Stanionis is a guy that we haven't seen in a long time, right? We haven't seen Stanionis in the ring in quite a while. So him hopping right into the fight with Boots, I think a guy's got a little bit more confident after seeing Boots in his more recent performances. I'm not taking nothing away from the Aborigine fight or Raymond Villa, but I'm looking at this Kukuchan fight as a fight that got everybody like, okay, I can actually beat this guy now. You know what I'm saying? That gave everybody hope that they could actually beat Boots because Karen Kukuchan showed them the way, right? Then it says, the one you got to feel sorry for right now is Eddie Hearn. He signed Ennis to a lucrative contract to Matchroom, believing he was a 24-karat gold. Thus far, he turns out to be fool's gold. Hearn thought he had stumbled on a treasure's signing Boots, seeing him as the next star for Matchroom. However, it looks like Ennis has already exhausted his nuclear fuel, with his core collapsing to be transformed into a dwarf star. If you're Hearn, you can't get rid of Ennis soon enough. If he can... I'm sorry, you guys. These dudes be talking hella shit. If you can reverse the process of a core collapse. Wow. Holy shit. And it's no wonder he turned down a well-paying fight against Virgil Ortiz at 154 and has chosen to stay at the dead, barren, lifeless 147 division, where it's easy pickings. And this is what I said, bro. When he turned down the Virgil fight, I already told you guys how I felt about that. I thought he got bamboozled. I thought that was a little clever tactic since he just got out of that fight with Kukuchan. And then it'll be a quick turnaround for Boots to hop right in there with Virgil Ortiz. And they knew this and they played the game very well. And Boots, now the narrative is, well, he don't want no smoke with the 54. And then my boy YSM did an interview with him. And I don't necessarily think that particular interview helped his cause as well. I just don't think, because Boots didn't say none of the right things at all. The kid needs a good PR person, ASAP. Then it says the division is filled with beatable opposition. If Boots had accepted that fight with Virgil Ortiz Jr. for February 22nd event in Riyadh, it wouldn't have ended well for him. Virgil Ortiz is red hot right now, and he would have beat him worse than he did Israel Mijamov. Wow. I mean, these guys, bro, I don't know. Like, look, these ain't my words. I'm reading these quotes. It's hilarious because they don't never have nothing nice to say. Right? There's just nothing nice to say. Look, man, you're going to have tough fights. You're going to have situations to where a dude who fans may not be too familiar with, this dude may be a good stylistic matchup for your favorite fighter. You know what I'm saying? He may not be necessarily a world beater, but this guy's particular style, his approach to the fight, is a bad matchup for X fighter, your favorite fighter. It just happens. This is just what it is. Boots Ennis got a lot to show in this fight with Emma to Stanionis. You know, Boots Ennis to start... I don't know. I guess he gonna have to let his hands do the talking for right now, because him doing any talking right now just won't look too well. So he's got to go out there and look really, really good against this guy, Stanionis. Then it says fans backlash, right? And it says, quote, he said they love you, then they hate you, then they love you again. Said Jaron Ennis on Way Up with Angela Yee. I guess the Angela Yee getting athletes and fighters on her podcast now, reacting to the fans' criticism. So Boots Ennis reacted to the fans' criticism, said they love you one minute, they hate you the next minute, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Then he says, after this next performance, next Saturday, they're going to be back loving me again. It's crazy, but it's boxing. And he says, no matter what I do, they have something to say. I beat somebody 12-0. Oh, you should have knocked him out. I knocked somebody out. I don't know if he got a gas tank. I went 12 rounds. No matter what you do, no matter what I do, they have something to say. You got to do what's best for you and not worry about what they have to say, said Boots. Quote. So, yeah, Boots ain't worried about what the fans got to say. He's just staying focused on improving and putting up decent and impressive performances. And that's all he really can do at this point. You can't beat the internet. You can't go back and forth with all these people. It's just not going to work out well for you. You know what I'm saying? You may be undefeated in the ring, but the internet is undefeated, and you just can't beat the internet. And then it says, these guys at Boxing News, they says, Boots looked depressed after his rematch with Kukuchan last November at the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia. He knew Karen had schooled him and didn't want to make eye contact with his promoter Eddie afterwards. There was nothing he can do about what had happened in that fight. Hearn appeared to be trying to cheer him up, but it was useless. Look, man, salute to Boxing News 24, man. They're hilarious with their articles. They don't never, ever have really anything nice to say about most fighters. But a lot of it is kind of like the harsh truth. You know what I'm saying? A lot of it I can't really dispute. That's just how these guys feel. My thing is Boots is going to have to show up and show out. He's going to have to look really good against a bigger guy in Stanionis, right? Bigger guy than he probably faced more recently. It's going to be a good fight. It should be a really, really good fight. Might be Boots' toughest fight. I'm not sure. But I expect Jaron Ennis to put up a spectacular performance because he's going to have to, right? That's just what it is. If he goes into this fight with if he goes into this fight with Stanionis and it's a drag-on, slobber knocker, back and forth fight, there's rounds where Stanionis has won. There's swing rounds where it could have went either way. It's not going to end well for Boots, even if he gets the W. But Jaron Ennis returns April 12th in Atlantic City against Stanionis in a unification fight. It's not necessarily a fight that we care about at this particular time, but it's a fight that has to happen, and it's a unification fight. Jaron Ennis' next goal is to unify 147, and then we're going to see what's next. Will he ever face Virgil Ortiz Jr.? I think that's the fight that should be talked about. And I think Jaron Ennis should go for that fight. But tell me what you guys think. Jaron Ennis, did his shine diminish? Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.